Titans would beat the Chiefs. They crushed KC 27-3, improving to 4-0 against playoff teams from last year. Meantime, Rob Ninkovich, multiple-time Super Bowl champion, his bold prediction, Joe Burrow would outperform Lamar Jackson. That's what happened. And me, Max Kellerman, resident idiot, had the Eagles beating the Raiders in Vegas, but Philly lost to drop to 2-5 on the season. Man, we almost went 3 for 3. Stupid Eagles prediction by me. Time for our bold predictions for Week 8. Rob, yours.
I'm going with the Patriots traveling to L.A. and beating the Chargers. And everyone's going to say, whoa, he's crazy. He's a hometown guy. He played for him. Yeah. But last year, what about them just absolutely beating the brakes off them 45-0?
It's a rookie quarterback that year.
The worst game he's ever played in.
He had a terrible line.
Threw 2 interceptions, didn't throw a touchdown pass. Under 50% completion percentage. So if you're the Patriots, you're pretty confident going into this saying, listen, we made this trip last year. We went out there. We took care of business. Yeah, granted, they're 2 different teams. It's a new year. But I'm taking the Patriots to win this matchup. 28-14.
Shocked there's gambling at this establishment.
Don't
Dan,
be shocked.
Casablanca references. I'm a million years old. Dan Graziano, your bold prediction.
Well, Max, I am unencumbered by any sort of homerism or bias, so I took the Titans to beat the Chiefs last week. This week, I'm flipping it around. I am taking the Colts to knock off the Titans and tighten up the AFC South division race. I think a lot of people may have left the Colts for dead after their rough start, but Carson Wentz is actually playing extremely well right now, and I think the Colts can knock off the Titans, who are flying high. They beat the Bills. They beat the Chiefs. Maybe a little let down. And the Colts are playing better, and they want to make this a race before it's all over. So that's this week's bold prediction.
I'm glad that's your bold prediction. I don't know how bold. The odds are close. Because I'm going with the Titans. If that counts as bold, actually the Colts are favorites, and the line is continuing to move in their favor. So that doesn't even count as bold. My prediction is bold, Dan. Look, you said it. They beat the 2 boogeymen teams before the season started in the AFC. They beat the Bills, and they beat the brakes off the Chiefs, just as you, Dan Graziano, predicted. Okay. Now comes a game against the divisional rival, the only one in the division with a chance to compete for the divisional crown with the Titans. It comes where they've already beaten the Colts once. If they beat them again, they sweep. But basically, if the Titans win this game, division's over. The division's over. That's all the motivation they need. 3 in a row. And then we're going to be asking, are they the best team in the AFC? After this week, we're going to ask that question about the Titans. What do you think about that? That was a rhetorical.
The problem is, you picked a different team than I picked in the same game. We can't go 3-0. It's already over.
Damn it, Graziano's right again.
Why are you guys messing this up? I think I'm undefeated on this thing.
That's right. I want a piece of Graz. That's it. This just in, by the way, guys, from Adrian Wojnarowski. The Chicago Bulls forward Patrick Williams is expected to miss the rest of the regular season with a left wrist dislocation. He will undergo surgery soon. There's a possibility Williams could return for the postseason. The Bulls, I think everyone expects to make the postseason in the East. Guys, this is huge news. For me, this Bulls team, I love what they did in the offseason. Really, they gave Zach LaVine 4 new guys in the starting 5. And it was perfectly constructed. Lonzo Ball, the guy who passes with court vision. You can play him next to any player. And in the backcourt, he can shoot the 3, he can defend and rebound. You got the mid-range game of DeMar DeRozan to go with the long-range game of Zach LaVine. And, of course, Vucevic, one of the best bigs in the game. But Patrick Williams is the key to that team. If he can be the best player on that team and he has athletic upside, they could be a more desirable location than the Knicks, who you just saw beat them by 1 point last night. Meantime, the Warriors, Ja Morant, out-dueling everyone, including Steph Curry, right? Warriors jumped out to a 19-point lead over the Grizzlies, with Curry hitting his ridiculous three-pointer off one leg near the end of the first half. Curry scored 36, but stop me if you heard this one before. Went scoreless in the fourth quarter in overtime. It's when Ja Morant took over. Okay, Chiney Ogwumike with me now. Always great to see you, Chiney, NBA analyst extraordinaire, of course. Ja Morant, Chiney, is taking it to the next level this season. Let me tell you what it reminds me of, okay? I know this is like blasphemous, but Michael Jordan as a rookie scored 28 points. It was great right away. He got hurt his second year, came back and gave the Celtics the business in Boston, 63 points, whatever. And then in his third season was the best player of all time already. I'm not saying Ja Morant's Michael Jordan, but he was really good as a rookie, Chiney. But he's playing like the best player in the world right now. What stands out to you about him?
I'm so glad you qualified that, because any Michael Jordan comp is there. It's out there.
Yeah.
But you're right. He's had probably the best start out of any player in the NBA this season. He's leading the NBA right now with 30 points per game. He had an off shooting night from deep, but he's shooting about, 40% from three? And that's what I love. That's what really unlocks his game. Everyone knows Ja Morant for those crazy plays, those dunks, and even alley-oops as a guy that's like 6'3". But the reality is, him being able to knock down the three-point shot unlocks his game in a way that people can't defend right now. So Ja, he's been probably the most scintillating, exciting, I wouldn't say Jordan-esque yet, but he's been a captivating player in the NBA so far.
Let me be very clear. I'm in no way calling him Michael Jordan, but I am saying he made a jump from like regular excellent player, like a star, to, if he can continue this pace, it's a superstar. What else can you call it? He's shooting from 10 feet behind the arc?
Yes.
What's unbelievable? Okay, the Knicks, meantime, Chiney, hold on to beat the Bulls. They run their record to 4-1 now. And for a Thibodeau team, Thibodeau's hard on his guys, like he drives them, and they're flat in the playoffs. But this Knicks team, while they don't have a single superstar, really, apologies, Julius Randle, they're deep. They got a lot of guys they can throw at you. What's the ceiling here, do you think, for them?
So realistically, and you know your girl, I'm very big into facts, figures, numbers, and realism. I think this is a team that made the playoffs and lost last year, as we all saw, to the Hawks. But now they can get themselves around, or even possibly two, in the playoffs. And the reason why is their new additions. I mean, Kemba Walker, y'all, love him. A true point guard that can provide bursts of energy, whether it's with his, shooting ability or just his distributing ability. And then I also love Evan Fournier. I mean, my goodness. I love the international players that showed out, during the Olympics and then now carried that over to the regular season. Those two have been big reasons why Julius Randle feels like he can be himself, because the pressure is not necessarily every possession all on him.
Yeah, quickly, by the way, doesn't even have his rhythm going yet. And we know he can play if you watched last year, right? They're deep. Terrific doubleheader on ESPN tonight, Chiney. What should we be looking for, starting with Hornets and Heat?
I'm a post, but I have to do it for the guards right here. I mean, I love LaMelo Ball and what he's been able to do. He's actually coming up today on NBA Today. Great interview. But yeah, creating for himself, LaMelo, what he's been able to do just as a scorer as well. This is a strength-on-strength matchup. You've got one of the guys in LaMelo that has great court vision, and then going up against a great defensive team on the perimeter with PJ Tucker, Jimmy Butler, and company in Miami. And then in the second matchup, the nightcap Mavs-Nuggets, the reigning MVP Nikola Jokic, questionable with his knee. How will the Nuggets react without the man that really controls everything? His pace, their passing, facilitation, and even scoring. So now, Luka Doncic has an opportunity in that matchup, because he's going to be like a shark with blood in the water. You've got Jokic that controls. If he's not available, Luka has had a great year, and quietly the Mavs have started 3-1. And so I think he might capitalize there.
Thank you so much, Chiney. You can tip off your weekend with our star-studded NBA Friday doubleheader tonight on ESPN and the ESPN app. You just heard Chiney talk about it. LaMelo